Welcome to another episode on Little's Law YouTube channel's performance testing interview questions. So in this video, we will see about one of the common questions that is asked in interview, which is how would you troubleshoot a sudden spike in response time during performance testing? So before we see the answer, I will tell you why is this question asked. So why this question? So this question is to understand your assessment of problem solving skills. So the interviewer want to gauge your problem solving abilities in a real world performance testing scenario. So a sudden spike in response time can indicate a critical issue and they want to see how you approach and tackle such problems. And the second reason to ask you this question is to understanding of your performance metrics knowledge. So this question assesses your knowledge of key performance metrics and your ability to interpret them. So at a sudden spike in response time is a common symptom of performance problems, and interviewers want to know if you can identify and analyze such issues based on metrics. And the third thing is the communication skill. So it's an opportunity for you to demonstrate your ability to communicate effectively. So you need to explain your troubleshooting process clearly and concisely, as this is vital when working with team members, developers, and stakeholders during a real project. And the next point is the diagnostic step. So your response allows you to showcase your familiarity with diagnostic tools and techniques used in performance testing. So you may mention using performance monitoring tools, log analysis, profiling, or other diagnostic methods. And the fifth reason is prevention and mitigation. So beyond identifying the issue, interviewers would want to know if you understand how to mitigate the problem and prevent it from reoccurring. So this might involve suggesting optimizations or architectural changes. And the next reason is to know your experience and confidence. So your answer provides insights into your practical experience with performance testing. So if you have encountered and successfully resolved such issues in the past, it's a chance to highlight that experience. And then the attention to detail. So troubleshooting performance issues often requires a keen eye for detail. So interviewers may want to assess your attention to detail in identifying the root cause of performance problems. And the last reason is the adaptability. So it assesses your ability to adapt to changing situations and unexpected challenges, which is crucial in performance testing where issues can arise suddenly. So in your response, you should outline a systematic approach to troubleshooting, including steps such as identifying the time frame of the spike, analyzing server and network metrics, reviewing application logs, and using profiling tools. So additionally, you should stress the importance of collaboration with the development and operations teams to diagnose and resolve the issue effectively. So now we will see what could be the right answer for this question. So now let me move on to the answer. So as a candidate, I would answer that encountering a sudden spike in response time during performance testing can be a critical situation that requires a systematic approach to identify and resolve the underlying issues. And here is how I would handle such a scenario. So the first point is monitor and collect data. So in this situation, my first step would be to immediately access monitoring tools to gather real-time performance data. So let's say we are testing an e-commerce website and we notice a sudden spike in response time while users are attempting to complete their purchases. And the next technique is to analyze the timeline. So I would analyze the timeline to pinpoint the exact moment when the response time spike occurred. For instance, if the spike coincided with the launch of a flash sale event, it could indicate increased user traffic and potentially highlight a load related issue. The next thing is the check system resources. To delve deeper, I would check the utilization of system resources. If the spike is due to excessive resource consumption, the monitoring data might reveal high CPU and memory usage during the flash sale event. And the next diagnostics would be to do the database analysis. So given that the response time can often be influenced by database performance, I would focus on analyzing database queries and their execution times. So if we identify a specific complex query that is causing the spike, optimizing that query could significantly improve response times. The next diagnostics would be the network latency. So considering the network related factors, I would assess network latency and connectivity. If the response time spike is consistent across various geographies, it might point to network latency issues. And the next analysis would be on the third-party services. So in today's interconnected digital landscape, third-party services play a vital role. If the application relies on external services for payment processing, for example, I would assess the response times of those services to determine if delays that are contributing to the spike. And next comes the logs and error messages. So application logs and error messages can offer valuable insights. If any exceptions or errors are recorded during the response time spike, they could lead us to the root cause. And next comes the code profiling. So to delve into the application's code, I would utilize code profiling tools. Let's say the spike is due to a resource intensive loop within the checkout process. Profiling could highlight the exact function responsible. And next is the load distribution. So if the application employs multiple servers or resources, I would check for load distribution. And uneven distribution of load could mean that a single component is overwhelmed during peak periods. And the next diagnostics will be on the recent changes. So considering recent changes is essential. If new code was deployed just before the spike, rolling back those changes temporarily can help confirm if they contributed to the issue. And next comes the team collaboration. During this troubleshooting process, I would collaborate closely with the development team and architectures. So sharing my findings and observations would foster a collective effort to resolve the issue effectively. And then I would move on to mitigation and retesting. So based on the root cause identified, I would work with the team to implement fixes or optimization. So once applied, we would conduct retesting to validate whether the response time has improved and the issues has been resolved. And then the last change will be the document findings. So finally, I would document the entire troubleshooting process, including findings, the steps taken, and the solutions implemented. So this documentation ensures that the team has a reference for future scenarios and can enhance our understanding of the application's performance. So in real world example, during performance testing of a new e-commerce platform, we observed a sudden spike in response time as users began adding items to their carts during a promotional event. Through thorough monitoring and analysis, we discovered that a database query responsible for retrieving product availability was causing the delay. So we optimized the query, reducing response times and ensuring a smooth shopping experience for users. By systematically approaching troubleshooting with a variety of techniques, I can effectively pinpoint and address performance issues, ensuring a seamless user experience. So with that, I come to an end. In case if you have any questions that you need answers, please do comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our Little Star YouTube channel.